All right, Bill Apter down here at Apter's Alley, and glad to see you all down here. And welcome. Smackdown premiered on the Fox Network tonight, and I want to know what you thought. I'm going to tell you what I thought. First of all, the opening with this guy. This is my rock candy, by the way. It's actually candy in here, and so the Rock, of course, being at the beginning of Smackdown tonight in the segment with Becky Lynch and the King, Baron Corbin. Interesting segment. The Rock got a phenomenal pop, as you know, and who expected anything less? By the way, I'm looking at this and got to get the One Wrestling logo. Thank you for being here and following me on OneWrestling.com, OneWrestlingVideo.com. Lots of people joining in right now. And of course, if you have comments, I will answer them live here. Just type them into the comment box. So one thing that I found missing tonight, and it was a very memorable night for the debut of WWE SmackDown on Fox, but one thing missing. I wondered, with all the preparation for weeks and weeks and weeks that they had all this preparation, is where were all the legends? They showed the pre-show, they showed some of the legends being there, quick flashes of Hogan and an interview with Ric Flair and Charlotte and some stuff with Sting there. But and I don't know, did I miss it? But was this guy on or not? I did not. I was waiting for Stone Cold Steve Austin to do a segment similar to what the Rock did, because they were plugging it. They were plugging it so much. And okay, David Smith, David, welcome into the Actors Alley room here. And you said this was an awesome episode. It was. Of SmackDown. It reminded me of the pay-per-view with the level of matches. That's true. And one of the comments that my son Brandon had mentioned as we were IMing back and forth on Facebook Instant Messenger was that they were trying to cram so much into the 2 hours there. But Mad Mac Davis, welcome, Mac, to the chat room. Matt, as you know, is our reporter on Road Trip on the Apter Chat, and he was with me for our AEW review and discussion the other night, and he'll be back on Wednesday night. We will take AEW and look at it again. I mean, that was tremendous. But again, why Brian V? Exactly. All right. Why didn't Stone Cold, where is he? Why weren't these two guys there? As far as I know, they kept saying that Stone Cold Steve Austin was going to be there, and I have no clue why he wasn't. Razviel Ramos, welcome. NXT, will Thanos snap AEW next Wednesday? That's a guarantee. All right, well, that's going to be very interesting. But let's look at tonight's match, and let's go backwards. Of course, did you expect Kofi to lose the title so quickly to Brock Lesnar? There was no drama involved at all, was there? It was a quick Kofi just coming out. Lesnar snapped him up into the F5. Boom. 1, 2, 3. It was all over. And what a shock when Rey Mysterio came out with Cain Velasquez. I actually, for a moment, I didn't have my glasses on, but I thought it was Dominic for a minute. I said, how the heck could Dominic get? But the whole reaction to Cain Velasquez, a lot of people talk about, is there a crossover between WWE and MMA? And obviously there is. Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, obviously now Cain Velasquez, because everybody knew who he was. And the look of Velasquez, that monstrous look, he was pretty scary. And the way Lesnar just rolled out of the ring and ran away from him. You don't see Brock Lesnar back up from anyone, but that's a money match. That definitely is a money match. Brian V said Dave Meltzer told someone on Twitter that CM Punk could work for Fox and still wrestle with AEW if he wanted to. Is that true? I don't know. I haven't heard about that. So you'll have to ask Dave Meltzer. Brian V says he hopes that's true. I would think that if CM Punk made a deal with WWE, oh, the allergies are here. If they made a deal with, if CM Punk made a deal with WWE, he's not going to do anything with AEW. I don't think you're going to find anyone really crossing over there. The only kind of crossover, if you really want to talk about it, but it was at the very beginning was Billy Gunn when he came to the WWE Hall of Fame for the DX induction. I mean, that was about it. But no, I don't think it's going to happen. So FY, I can't read the whole thing, who's next because I'm PG. He said he didn't make a deal with WWE. He made a deal with Fox. At this point, though, I just think it would be very bad politics, and I don't think that's going to happen. As Perry Saturn peak basement pipe still broke, I don't know how he fixed it. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Fox isn't WWE. No, I know that. Of course, I know that, but I still don't think it would be good politics for him to do that. Brian said, do you know if the great Kabuki still wrestles? He does not wrestle as far as I know. He makes some appearances in Japan. But let's go back to tonight, to Fox. On a 1 to 10 scale, what did you think, with 10 being the best? How would you rate it tonight? So while you people are doing that, I'm going to go over my notes from tonight. The evening was started off with I didn't expect Vince McMahon to come out, and it was good to see old Vinnie Mac there and Stephanie. Charlotte and Becky against Bayley and Sasha. It's a decent match. Seth Rollins versus Nakamura. I was really looking for something special in that match. My son and I, again, we were clinking back and forth, and we said this should be a really good match. Do you think that the Fiend interfering in that just kind of took away from what could have been a really, really, really great match? I mean, it just, of course, it seems like the build for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, but it ticked me off. I wanted to see a good match there. Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair was shown in the audience there, and again, Hogan was there. Why didn't they do something? Why didn't they have a segment with all the legends that they had coming into the ring just at one time, being introduced to the audience? Maybe they did it live there, but they didn't do it on TV. The Roman Reigns, Eric Rowan lumberjack match. Roman won with interference. Luke Harper interfered, as you know, and Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns made peace. Yeah, they did. Or is this all a coup at the pay-per-view? Will Daniel Bryan turn his back on him again? Kofi versus Brock, we talked about that, about 5 seconds. The draft next Friday on SmackDown will continue on Raw. So let's see some of your comments there. Dan Bowen gave it an 8. Okay, Dan. Rick Marone gave it a 9. Dan Bowen, prayers. Okay, Brian V, I give it a 5 because of the ending with Lesnar and Kane. I thought that was one of the best parts of the show, to be honest with you. And again, I was looking for more legends. The way they pumped this thing up for the past few weeks on Fox, I know they had all these, they had everybody plugging, all the current WWE guys plugging what was going to go on Fox, but they were also talking about all the legends that were going to show up. Mr. Ramos, what are your thoughts on WWE potentially working with CMLL And do you think we're going to get an NXT Mexico or NXT Japan or NXT Canada? I think we will get an NXT International. Yes, I think Japan. Yes, Mexico. Canada? Yeah, maybe. I don't see why not. Prayers for you, Bill. I just got over a sinus infection. Good for you. So you know what my allergy is going through here. After seeing Mad Mac Davis, after seeing all the shows this week, what show won? Whoa, you're putting me on the spot, Mac. And well, you know what it is. So let's go back this week, and you tell me, fans, which show won this week. And we're not done yet because Hell in a Cell comes up this coming Sunday. So Monday night we had Raw. Tuesday night, Impact debuted with one of their pay-per-views, one of their past pay-per-views on Access TV. We had Wednesday night the big head-to-head war, NXT. Is it a war? Is it a sprint or a marathon? NXT, I'll talk about that in a minute, and AEW. Thursday night, we had kind of a night off to watch wrestling on YouTube or Indies or whatever. And Friday night tonight, Smackdown. And of course, tomorrow night, there'll be Women of Wrestling on Access TV. Wow. There will be New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then Sunday night, Hell in a Cell. So we're not done with the week. But this week, the winner, and it's showed by the ratings in terms of excitement and just a great show. And I'm not knocking NXT. NXT had great matches, excellent work with all the guys, it really did. But AEW this week, of course, became the show of the week as far as I'm concerned. And for the WWE to do something that they never, ever, ever did before shocked me. They actually came out and recognized that another company existed and was going head to head with them. They posted a congratulatory press release saying that to congratulate AEW for garnering such fantastic ratings. Back in the day, especially back in the day with WCW, you know, we didn't have this kind of internet stuff that we could do. But back in the day, you never would do that. They never would have recognized WCW, except that one time, of course, when they went in the tank and tried to attack WCW. But yeah, it was very uncharacteristic. And I think that that war on Wednesday nights, I think next week, the atmosphere of AEW again is going to be killer. And the reason being that they're going to be in Boston, or as we say in New York, Boston. And that town, that city has got, and again, I mean this in a complimentary way, that city has got an incredible amount of great, enthusiastic, insane, crazy fans. Really does. And there's, you know, it's the same thing the following week. They're going to be right here in Philly. So if you're coming to the AEW show in Philadelphia at the Leah Chorus Center, I'm going to be there in the press section. So please make sure you come over and see me and let me know that you follow us here on the Apter chat. So Mad Mac Davis agreed AEW, and Rick Marone said Smackdown. Okay, that's great. FYW and next. I'm sorry, like I said, I won't say the F-bomb. So we'll just call you Mr. F-bomb here. They took the high road and they made them look good. Yeah, of course they made them look good. Why wouldn't they? They've been planning this. The seeds that were planted, of course, by the owner, Khan, and Cody Rhodes, and the Young Bucks, and Jericho, and Kenny Omega. And I mean, it was a day that they had been waiting for for such a long time. So every ounce of their energy was poured into that night on TNT. And you know something? It was very nostalgic, and we discuss this. Mac and I discuss this with all of you on Wednesday night. It was very nostalgic to hear Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross back together again. And Excalibur, you know, I didn't think he was that. But what did you think of Excalibur? Did you think that Excalibur is a good part of that team, or should it just be Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross? I don't know. And what do you think about the WWE broadcast shakeup there? Who's your favorite WWE broadcast team? Somebody sent me an IM earlier today and asked me why I'm not on one of the broadcast teams. They didn't ask me to be. So would I like to be? Of course I would. But I'm independent, as you know. I try to bring you my opinions and the news. And again, tonight's debut on Smackdown for WWE did at times feel like it was a pay-per-view. But do you agree with me? Do you agree with me that there should have been a section with the legends who were there? I mean, they showed Mick Foley and Kurt Angle for like 2 seconds. They showed some NFL people. They showed another fighter. But to me, if you're a wrestling fan or a sports entertainment fan, whatever you want to call yourself there, and you know these legends are there, why not? Why not? Were any of you at the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance TV tapings this week in Georgia? And speaking about Georgia, I have to apologize to everyone out there that I was supposed to be on October 18th and 19th at the Superstars of Wrestling Fan Fest in Rome, Georgia, and it's been delayed until April of next year. So I'm hoping to come back to Georgia in April of next year. And because I know I had a lot of fans instant messaging me, I had a lot of fans emailing me, tweeting me, saying that they were looking forward to getting my book. My book right here. You know I plug this all the time. Is wrestling fixed? What's the answer? Right. I didn't know it was broken. On sale at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, any place you can find good books. So let's go back to your comments here. What's an IM? Wouldn't that be an instant message? Somebody asked me, I was joking around on Facebook the other night. Back to the allergy here. And I mentioned to someone that I'm looking back here because I want to find something here that I didn't think I would need. But I said that I was setting my VCR and going to record a VHS tape of the Wednesday Night War. We're good now. And somebody said, VCR? VHS? What is that? Hang on, I'll be right back. Entertain yourselves for a moment. So just for the few people who don't think that I was kidding there about VHS and VCRs and all this stuff, this is a before there was digital, this existed. We had this thing called a camcorder. A camcorder. Yep, hang on. And so different than your little digital camera or your digital video camera, the camcorder, I used to carry this sucker around. Look at this. And this tape went in here. And you would look through this. There was no viewfinder like you would find on your digital camera, and you had to look through this. So a lot of the early Apter chats, I had to get somebody to hold this thing, there's no battery in here right now, but insert the VHS. This is a super VHS that was almost 1080 quality before there was, if you know videography and stuff. But yeah, this is what I used to carry around. I don't know how I did it. All right, let me get back to your cameras, to your questions here. By the way, where is Rhonda? There she is. So somebody asked me, is Rhonda Rousey down here at Apter's Alley? She is. She's right there. That was given to me by a friend whose mother works for a video company. And you want to bring her up front? All right. Somebody wants me to bring her up front here. She's now on. All right, there we go. How's that? Better? Okay. You like that? What a pair. I'm talking about she and I. Okay. So let's go back to your comments. What are your thoughts of Heroes of Wrestling? And I think Legends and Icons and Heroes of Wrestling done right for JCW. I agree. How did I enjoy Smackdown? We just got through talking about that. On a 1 to 10 level, I did not give my level here. On a 1 to 10 level, with 10 being the best, I would give it a 7.5, because I did have several issues that we discussed. But yeah, it's Ronda Rousey. Thanks for being here. There's so much MMA happening in WWE. I figured, why not bring her here? White Wolf 8214. Thank you for being here. What did you think of SmackDown ending with Cain Velasquez versus Lesnar? We talked about that already, but I will go back to it. I thought it was great. What do you think of WWE working with CMLL? Thanks for your thoughts. Appreciate it very much, sir. So I'll go back because you showed up in the room late. I hope you have a pass. I loved the ending of SmackDown. I didn't like that Kofi lost so easily. I mean, and that was it. I really thought there'd be some sort of battle, and I did think, like I said, once in a while I wear glasses, and I did think before I knew it was Cain Velasquez that maybe it was Dominic Mysterio there, but it wasn't. Ivan Rothstein, hello, Ivan. WWE announced today Barclays Center will have Friday Night SmackDown on Friday night, December 20th. That's great. So it will be here in Philly in November, I think around November 16th, if I'm right. And I will be present. I will be there. I'll be in Philly at the Liacouras Center for AEW a week from Wednesday. And I will be there for SmackDown. Man, we're getting a lot of great wrestling here. And all right, so let's see. Brian, Rhonda, and Bill, co-hosts of Apter's Alley. Shh, I've asked her not to say anything here. Do you think the WWE will ever do intergender wrestling? And what are your thoughts on it? I have no problem with intergender. You know, Andy Kaufman, the guy that I introduced to Jerry Lawler and that caused that whole feud to take place, what I say was the first real shot ever of sports entertainment. He was an intergender champion. But no, I have no problem with that at all. I really don't. Bring it on. Bring it on. Any chances of you working with Dennis Hackins from Saved by the Bell, Mr. Belding, in the future? Where did that come from? Not that I know of. And why? Why are you asking? Farah Celieras, happy birthday, Bill. We have same birthday, October 22nd. Oh, that's great. Where are we celebrating, Farah? Where are you located? We got to, do you know who else, a famous wrestler who's no longer with us, shared the same birthday as us? And I love doing my imitation of him, and he used to love it. He was a WWF champion. I am ready for any kind of action, baby. Pedro Morales was October 22nd. Yeah. So thank you very much and happy upcoming birthday. And where are you located? What state are you in? White Wolf 8214. Yep, I'm walking boot. Oh, I'm in a walking boot and had a recent minor heart attack. Thanks for your thoughts, sir. I'm very sorry to hear that. Um, yeah, get well soon. Everybody give a shout out to White Wolf 8214. You know, I remember Billy White Wolf, who also was Sheik Adnan LKC, and he teamed up with Chief Jay Strongbow in this area. Yeah, so get well soon. Brandon Apter. Hmm. Before I get to Brandon Apter, not Apter. Rick Marone says Andy Kaufman should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Yes, he should be in the celebrity wing. When that's going to happen, I don't know. I have been, hold down, Rhonda. I have been trying to get them to do that. I think Jerry the King Lawler, has been trying to get them to do that, but no, it hasn't happened yet. Maybe this year. Maybe this year. I would love to see this. So Brandon Apter saying, Brandon Apter, same name as my son, Barack Lesnar, beating Kofi in 10 seconds was not fun. Longtime fan of yours. Thank you, Brandon Apter. Probably since you were a baby. Yeah, David Lee Rath. Oh, I like that name. Hey, Bill, big fan from Argentina. How big are you? No, great too. One of my heroes growing up was from Argentina. He was a wrestler. His name was Antonino Argentina Rocca. So welcome. I'm more of a fan of all the backstage stuff rather than wrestling itself. That's very cool. There's nothing wrong with that. We have a wrestling show called Titanes and a ring that returned a few weeks ago. I think I used to get that in New York on UHF TV. Was there a guy, and again, this is ages ago, who used to walk around ringside? He was like a manager, and he'd carry a big piece of ice. And he might have been called the Iceman, but I do remember that show being, I think, on Canal 47 in New York on UHF. If you don't know what UHF is, it's similar to the days that I used VHS or Super VHS. A lot of Googling you have to do to catch up and see what the old technology or lack of it was. White Wolf 8214 says your birthday is October 24th, 2 days after mine and Farrah's. So happy birthday upcoming. White Wolf, you're in Missouri, and Farrah, you're in Virginia. So I don't know if we can meet up and celebrate our birthdays together. So we'll do it on IMs or on Skype or maybe late night, because I'm probably going to go out and do some karaoke that night somewhere. You know, I love to sing and do karaoke. I'm going to do that on here one night if you'd like to, if you want to get involved. Do a little Apter's Alley concert here. What do you think, Rhonda? Okay. She likes the idea. So, by the way, up behind here, since Brandon Apter is watching, back there, that's Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's The Rock. And let me see, I have another one up there. If I can move the computer here. Yeah, you can see Goldberg. And those were table settings at my son's bar mitzvah, his confirmation. He had Brandon's brawl mitzvah. Yeah, this is stuff I wasn't even going to talk about tonight, but what the heck. So hang on a minute. Hold on. Let me show you something very cool. Since Brandon is there right now, is watching this. Remember this? That's Hulk Hogan holding up Brandon's bar mitzvah invitation. Yeah. So what you're going to do, man. A lot of memories down here at Apter's Alley. So I'll give some tours eventually down here, not in person. Rick Marone, I think Bruno Sammartino's birthday is Sunday. I think it was already, but I'm not sure. I know, again, Pedro Morales was October 22nd as well. WNJU TV channel 47, Bill. Yes, that was it, Ivan. And I used to sit there and navigate that UHF antenna. And I used to watch on channel 41, Canal 41, the Canal of Grandes Lucha Libre Espectaculares. I used to watch the Olympic Auditorium shows on there every Saturday night around 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is the first time I ever got to see Mil Mascaras, Black Gordman, Goliath, and so many others. Well, thank you, White Wolf. Happy birthday, Bill Apter and Farah. Happy birthday, Bill. Again, it's not tonight. It's October 22nd. Brandon Apter says we're having a brawl. You're going to have a brawl wedding when you get married to that girl named Erica. That's it, Erica. You're going to have a wrestling wedding. That's going to be great. You know, if you can convince her family to do this, I'll get people down there. Hold on, I'm getting a pop-up right now. Whoa. Is that woman real? Oh, okay, I just clicked out of it. Dennis is a big wrestling fan and commissioner of some indie wrestling company somewhere, so I don't know enough about that. So, Mark Trix, welcome. It would have been incredible to see a face-to-face between Undertaker and Sting. We still want that, don't we? Want to see it. But do we really want to see that match? Do we really want an Undertaker versus Sting match? I'm not sure. I like to remember wrestlers when they were the best in the ring or toward the end of their careers. But Undertaker, I'm sure, can still, do the choke slam and the tombstone. Sting, of course, can do the splash, but it's the in-betweens that I'm concerned about. Mr. Apter, I hope to see you at Herb Simmons' SICW show sometime and meet you, sir. Again, I'm looking back here because there's so much going on. Hold on. Speaking about Herb Simmons in St. Louis, one of the finest days and nights of my career was when Herb brought me down to St. Louis and they presented me with this Hall of Fame plaque. Can you see that? So Herb Simmons, if you're watching this or you're watching the replay, I don't see you on here. So the replay, I want to let you know how much I still appreciate this. And Herb is planning to bring me back to Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling. So get a date from him and I'll let you know when it is. Ivan saw it on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, the Olympic Auditorium shows in 1977. It was on Wednesdays as well, but I remember on Saturdays because I broke dates with girls who wouldn't come over to my parents' apartment to watch that. And they said, what are you going to be watching, wrestling? So goodbye, never see you again. How big of a wrestling fan was Elvis Presley? That's a great question. He used to, according to Jerry Lawler, Jerry Jarrett, he used to come and sit in the back at the matches in Memphis quite often. So I was told he was a very, very big wrestling fan. Thank you very much. I do some Elvis songs. So if we have karaoke night, should we do a karaoke night one night? Okay, we're going to do it. So Brian, Jeff Hardy has been arrested again for driving under the influence while impaired, reported by Wrestling News Source. I heard that too. I hate to hear those things, but Jeff Hardy, like a lot of other celebrities and rock stars who are celebrities too, and sports figures and all that, it's a tough life being on the road all the time, going through a lot of physical. I'm not making any excuses. He shouldn't do that kind of stuff. You're a celebrity, and even if you're not a celebrity, you shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. But I hope Jeff learns from this and doesn't do it again. So we're going to wrap up here momentarily at the 35-minute mark. If you have any other questions, please type them in right now because I'm getting ready to skidoo to the upstairs area of Apter's Alley. I want to thank all of you who joined us this evening. You can follow me at Apter1 Wrestling. That's the number 1 on Twitter. I'm also on Facebook, or you can email me at bapter@onewrestling.com. So that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. And as I always say, I've got to put this down so I can give you all the finger. And Rhonda, thank you very much for assisting this time. Matrix, I agree with you. I don't want Sting and Taker to have a match because of their physical state, but a face-to-face would be great. Absolutely incredible. Brian, you just said Impact. What's with an asterisk? Does that mean Impact was your favorite show of the week? We're going to wait for an answer. Da, 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 da. By the way, did any of you catch my live appearance with Goldilocks on Vince Russo's The Realm Network, where she and I did a duet of the Broadway hit Tomorrow? Oh, Scarlett signed with WWE. I've heard that, but until I hear it directly from the correct source, I'm not going to report it. But that'd be great. I think she'd be a fantastic addition to the ladies division there. Yeah, and who knows, maybe Killer Cross. Great interview I did with them on OneWrestlingVideo.com. Okay, that's it, Rhonda. We're out of here. We're going upstairs. So until Wednesday after NXT and AEW, where Mac Davis will go on a road trip and be here via phone. We'll see you at the matches. Thanks for tuning in. End the stream? Yeah.